Thank you, Solange. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. We were having a pretty lively conversation before we started today, and it was
Yes,
pretty
I feel like
impactful.
we need to start right away, right? As soon as we meet,
Right? Right. Because like
all the
we
juicy
talk about
things are there.
right? We talk about all kinds of stuff. All right. So today we decided that we were going to structure the show so that way people would have like their beginning, middle, and end, so to speak. And we pulled a rune. The rune that we pulled today was reversed. It's called Uruz. So it's Uruz if you want to look it up, okay? And this is what it looks like. That's reversed. This is what it looks like, not reversed. So you're going to look for it if online, okay, if you want more information, you'll look for it like this. But I'm going to read to you what this one is, okay? So this is a collective reading. Woo! Boy, is that thread coming in right now. I'm sorry. All right, so here we are. Just to let you know, that rune is on page 100 of the Book of Runes by Ralph H. Blum. Okay. And when I saw what the number was, I was talking to Solange and I said, oh, wow, this already tells me that this is a new beginning with a double amplification. And so you guys should be feeling that shit right now, like deeply feeling that right now, because the import of this rune at this particular time is tantamount to you being able to become willing to jump into your body and process all that stuff that you stored in there that you don't like to look at. All right. So, reversed, without ears to hear and eyes to see, you may fail to take advantage of the moment. If there's something that you're doing, right, that you're investing in, that you're putting time, sweat, effort, and things like that, don't give up, okay? And pay attention. Right now is the time to pay attention, okay? The result could well be an opportunity missed or the weakening of your position. It may seem that your own strength is being used against you. For some, Uru's reverse will serve to alert, offering clues in the form of minor failures and disappointments. For others, those more deeply unconscious. I hope that's not you if you're listening to us or unaware. Now I know it's not. It may provide a hard jolt. You might have that anyway. Reverse, this room calls for serious thought about the quality of your relationship to yourself. But take heart, consider the constant cycling of death and rebirth, the endless going and return. Everything we experience has a beginning, middle, and end, and is followed by a new beginning. Therefore, do not draw back from the passage into darkness. When in deep water, become a diver. Ah, gosh, what a harsh freaking.
Mm, I love it. I think
Oh,
it's really
yeah,
accurate.
right?
And yes, we were talking about all this earlier, but also the shadow work, and I feel like the relationship with ourselves, it's really important to cultivate self-compassion as well, and
Oh, nice.
self-love. And well, self-compassion is a kind of a self-love, right? Because it's showing ourselves that we really love ourselves and that we are not being like very harsh, because sometimes I feel like, me especially, every time that I make a mistake or do something wrong, I'm like hating myself, like because I'm sometimes I'm really hard with myself, and in this journey of like paying attention more to the relationship with myself, I'm like, self compassion is a really really good exercise to do like all the time, and be aware of that all the time, um, especially when we are doing all this kind of shadow work, and working towards our goals, right? For
Right.
being a better person and being good being, actually.
A good being, not just a human being.
Exactly, exactly.
And we're the ones who determine that, right? We determine what's good, bad, indifferent, right? And
Our
so when
judgments all the time.
our perceptions just coming
Hmm.
through all the time. Yeah. So I like we've been talking about a lot of things this morning. We started about 10 o'clock, and then we pepper everything that we're going to talk about, and we have had full conversations. You and I, we play with the idea of like recording those before these so that way we can add them to our podcast aspect. And I want to do that. We'll start doing that. Like we'll do 15 minutes before, and then yeah, because we just it's a lot of information exchanged. And
Hmm.
today we were well, okay, so here's my opinion. This is my personal opinion. This is my personal experience, and it is a message that I've been given to give to others. All right? And so how I receive messages is I receive messages from celestial bodies, I receive messages from ascended masters, from archangels, from a higher vibrational aspect. That's where I, in particular, will go to receive my information or my energetic transmissions so that way I can give to you what I feel or am in alignment with is more accurate. Okay. And so
Hmm.
for me, I'm a deep seeker of truth, a deep seeker of truth. And right now, we're all becoming that. And in that, the planets themselves. So think about the electromagnetic frequency of our terra firma, our earth, okay? Where we stay, where we're connected, where we have our life, our physical experience, right? And then now we have another celestial body. Keep in mind that we have 8 billion people on the planet, okay? So that's a lot of energy. That's a shit ton of energy, right? That's just a shit ton of energy. And then in close proximity, but not too close, but enough to make a difference, right? Is going to
Hmm.
be the other planets because we're all in a centrifugal gravitational pull to the sun. And so in that, we're going to feel the ebb and flow of everything. So as the planets move around us, we're going to have a push, pull, stop, go, up, down feeling because we're in the sky. We're in the fucking sky. So when you think about it, we are feeling all of those energies physically. And one of the big lineups that started maybe 3 years ago, all right, was that we were going to start to do our shadow work. In 2020, the United States went through a Pluto return, and Pluto is all about going deep and finding out what the core is. Like, how does that happen? Where did that come from? What about this? What about this? What about this? And it just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. And right now, it's at 0 degrees and it keeps going back and forth over Aquarius and Capricorn because it wants to know what you think and what you do. Those are the two grown up signs for air and earth. And it wants to know what you think and what you do. It wants to know what you think and what you do. And it's going to keep asking you and asking you and asking you. And you'll feel confusion if you can't get into alignment. And that's that deep planetary energy that's asking you to go into like your
Hi, Francesca.
yeah, that's asking you to go basically into your heart space where you store maybe unprocessed emotions and stuff and find out if you can sit with the charge and release it a little bit at a time so that we get lighter and lighter and lighter because the frequencies are getting faster and it's difficult for the wave frequencies to travel through your experience without distortion if you have a lot of blocked and stagnant energy in your flow. And it's usually memory patterns. And the memory patterns come from exhausting trauma, right? And it's stuff that we don't want to look at because we've already been through it. But the thing is that when you look at it, you don't take away the experience. You allow the experience to be there. You hold yourself in such a way that you use the compassion, right? The compassion for yourself, because you're treating yourself sacredly. And that's like one of the biggest things, right? So we have been discussing like a lot of the planets this morning. And I just want to kind of go over it really fast as I'm able. Okay. And we have like, oh, by the way, happy Gemini season. Today is the first day of Gemini season, according to the ephemeris. So, and then what's happening right now is that everything is elongating. All right. So for 2 months, we'll have the cusp start on the 22nd. And then for 2 months, we'll have it start on the 24th. And then for 2 months, we'll have it start on the 23rd. And all of that is very late. See how that feels? It's not late. It feels luxurious, like we're being given time, taking our time to move through the signs, really celebrate ourselves. So you allow that energy, okay? All right. No, this doesn't change your sun sign or anything like that. It's just how you interact now from your planetary alignment. Oh, happy birthday. That's right. That's right. Coming up. Very good. And so when you're in that cusp, that means you can hold two positions. You can hold a masculine energy and a feminine energy easily, but you'll lean towards one a little bit more. So let's say you're on that cusp right there, Francesca. So you're in that Cancer Gemini energy. And maybe the 22nd, when you were born, you were a Gemini. But now that the 22nd of June is going to be Cancer season, you may feel more emotions. So you can hold water energy. Okay. So you have a really good male energy that you can hold, but you'll also be able to hold more female energy. So emotional energy. But that also tells you that that's exactly what's going to happen, is it's going to put you into your emotional energy this year. You could see that. Yes. And that's what we're talking about. Okay. So some things, one of the things that's coming up right now is that June, the very beginning of June, because as soon as May ends, okay, it's going to feel as though so many things happen all at once. And it isn't. It's just everything that we have asked for is coming to fruition. Now, I can't explain that in greater detail because you've asked for so much. So have I. So is lunch. So is everyone. So to explain what I'm saying, I'll say this. Everything you've asked for is coming through. Everything you've asked for is coming through. Keep in mind that we are a collective energy. We are a collective energy. And right now, we are deciding whether we want pleasure and love or pain and sacrifice. So whichever way you lean, that's what's coming. Okay? All right. So let's get to this real fast. I would say June 1st is probably going to begin the energies pretty strongly of this change, a very substantial change. And some of the players, okay, or at least one of the players at that particular point is going to be Saturn. And Pluto will be in Aquarius and retrograde in that moment, okay, at 0 degrees. So it's going to be a lot of thoughtful energy. But then you have the grown-up Venus, who is at 25 degrees Cancer. You're going to have fucking meltdowns. That's just all going to happen right there. So you have a grown-up emotional earth embodiment coming, period. Enjoy. So either you get in your shit and in your body or you struggle. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You're feeling the pull. You're feeling all of these things happen. Feel. That's what you're doing. You're feeling, okay? And we're supposed to feel. That's what this year is about. So when Saturn and Mars got together at the very beginning of the year in January, that was only the structure for this year. 3 years ago, this was built so that we could all go through our shadow at the same time.
That's good to know, right? So we are prepared.
I think so. So I just thought that was like, oh my God. Anyway, so June 1st is like it's really good energy, but the depth of Pluto being in that thought at 0 degrees, okay? So that's no thought, no thought. You're not going to be in thought at all that day. And it's going to be slow moving back and forth. It's going to be a super emotional day. All right. But the emotion is meant to process. And if we can sit in the emotional charge of that day without lashing out at others, because they're just reflecting back to us what we are, right? And that's what we're doing. We're having experiences with other people. And when we have experiences with other people, we're meant to have those exchanges and then go process and then come back and have more rabbit holes. It's all about the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think about all the planetary action? What do you think
I
about
love
that,
it.
Solange?
I think it's a really it's good to have that kind of information so we know how to act in different ways for different reasons. Like it's really good to have the information about what are the energies and what's going on, so we know we have that background. I don't know how to explain it, but something like
Right.
that, like to
Well,
have
because the thing is that you're not basing your life around it. It just
exactly
gives you insight.
information.
Right. Because like we're always looking outside to find out why we're having inside. And so what the planets are doing is that they're highlighting this particular sequence of events for us in this particular way. So they're leaning more toward a very feely energy, right?
Mm,
And so we're going to be, a lot of us who are susceptible to energy will go into that feely energy. That will go ahead and create an entrainment because it's a vibe. It's
mm,
a
yeah,
vibe. So
yes,
that frequency, that vibration will start to emanate from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. And then pretty soon it will be global. All
hmm
right. And it doesn't take that much because years ago there was this game that people did. It was 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. Okay.
ah,
And it was really great because like we found out at that time how closely interlocked and related we are, because we knew that 7 people away from us we could talk to Kevin Bacon. And that was
mm,
just like it just really showed everybody like how close we really are, and it was such a gift, right?
yes, yes, and how much information we can have. It's amazing as well because we can plan with this information, and as Francesca was saying, we it explains how we feel and how we act and what we do, so we can be at the end of the day better beings.
Right.
Right, for
Well,
me
the
it's
thing
all
is,
about well-being and everything around that.
right. And so this may sound like doom and gloom, right? But it really isn't. If you can get in touch energetically with yourself, because it's all about energy right now, it's about the energy and how you comport yourself. It's about how you have your experience. Are you willing to have the depth of experience that you came to have? The depth of experience means a full bodied experience. Are you willing to jump all the way into your body and be present in the moment of your experience? Can you chop wood, carry water? Can you chop wood, carry water? Can you just be present in your now? And that's where we're being brought to. And because we have been in creation energy and our thought and ideation and our possibilities, we're overwhelmed. So we have a lot of extra energy with us. Some of it is, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just we have a
Hmm.
lot of extra energy, and we need to learn where our energy that we've captured to have our experience ends and begins, so that we know what we're working with. And we determine that. We determine that through every experience. Maybe we'll have a meltdown in the middle of the park because something didn't go our way. And it'll be like, what? Well, we're gathering a lot of energy in that experience because we're in our physicality. And
Hmm.
usually we anchor into our experience through contrast. And the reason that we do is because that keeps us engaged. And we don't
Mm.
realize it, but that's the rabbit hole that we're jumping in for the experience. So when you find your alignment in the rabbit hole and that satisfaction, you get to go ahead and make a choice to go to the next rabbit hole,
Mm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm. That is so true.
What do you think about rabbit holes?
Oh, I think it's a whole new topic for the next one, but we've been talking about rabbit holes for a while now, right?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Uh,
So what about strength, right? So
oh,
how would you, okay. So we have a lot of information, Solange. We have a lot of information. I think that maybe people will bring it in and they'll make it situational for themselves. And so maybe we could go ahead and offer some solutions, like things that you could do to manage your energy. Or like, how would you feel if, let me go back to the reading real fast. Okay.
sure. Yes.
All right. Because that was,
Meanwhile, we can maybe talk about a little bit on how we manage our energy, right?
okay. Yeah, I
Well,
like that.
it might be pretty easy for you because you can clear your field or do something like real quick.
Oh, you know what? I might give that impression, but dude, like, okay, so just listen. Here's how my day goes. Okay.
Okay, okay. I
My
like that.
goal, this is my goal. Okay. This is my goal every day. All right. My goal is to wake up and stay in alignment, to wake up, find my alignment and stay there. That's my goal every day, every single day. So I wake up, I'll do some sage so that way I get back in my body and I become present because I want to bring my awareness into my now. And I bring it into my now and I'm like, "Oh, okay. This is nice. This is so pretty. This is great. Okay, I need coffee. I got to drink my shake. All right." Then my mind starts
Mm.
and I'm off to the races. So I go in, I'm trying to chop wood, carry water. I'm making my coffee. I'm trying to be very present. I'm in gratitude. And then it goes again. And I'm like, oop, 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 come on back. Come on back. And then I drink my shake. While I'm drinking my shake, I have millions of things that I'm going to do all day. And I
Oh,
stop.
yeah.
I stop and I go, ooh, no, I'm drinking my shake. I'm drinking my shake. I'm good. I wash my cup. I'm like that. And then I go and I sit at my desk if I'm going to work, right? But I walk by my computer several times because I have to know that I'm willing to be present at my computer. Because
Mm.
what I used to do was I would turn it on and get to it when I wanted or get to it when I could. That's how I was talking to myself. Like, I'll have time in a little bit. And I don't do that anymore. Right now, what I'm practicing is being present in the choice that I'm making through intention.
I love that.
And I have ease because of it. And it's all brand new. So it's not something I've been doing for years or anything like that, but really practicing. A lot of people might call it mindfulness, but it's not actually mindfulness. It's bringing myself back into my present or current intention in my
Mm-hmm.
current experience because we
Mm-hmm.
fractal so often. And sometimes when we receive our experience that we have tried to manifest, right? Like, let's say we tried to manifest ease and we thought that ease was a brand new red car. All right. And so we get that brand new red car and we don't necessarily feel the ease that we thought would be associated with it. And the reason why is because it doesn't necessarily come in the way that we want. Maybe we're paying too much, or maybe we have payments that we didn't want, or maybe the insurance is higher, or maybe we don't get it until this day, or maybe the interior doesn't match exactly what it was that we want. So we have that little stress that we create in that situation. And it doesn't matter what that story is. The minute that you create an invitation for the universe to conspire for you an experience, it begins.
Mm.
And if you don't step into your intention through action in that moment, right? It continues without you. And your confusion begins because we put a pattern of blocks in front of ourselves. What if it doesn't work? What if it's too hard? I can't do this. I need help. What is this? And all of that is just resistance. And it's because what we're getting ready to experience feels like the unknown. And basically, we've never had this particular experience that's about to happen. We may have had
Mm.
several that were like it, and we can draw from all that experience, but our desire is to have something so unique that it's going to pull us into satisfaction, alignment, and ease. Okay. And so that's our
Mm,
desire. And in that desire, how we build our intention. Let's say our intention is to, I like to create um, emotional manifestations. And the reason that I like emotional manifestations is because then I have several of those style emotional manifestations throughout the course of the day. And all of them come in physically, and they're different experiences, but of the same emotion, satisfaction.
mm,
So I have satisfaction in my coffee, I have satisfaction in my shake, I have satisfaction in getting in contact with who I am. And that's what I do. So feeling that sense of completion is what I'm looking for. And that keeps me pretty clear. And so that's what I'm practicing now. Does that help?
yes, yes, I love that. And especially when you were mentioning the part of like that you are doing some sage or as much in the morning so you can clear everything what's going on.
Well,
I love
we're
that.
all out of body. We're all out of body when we're sleeping. And what I mean by that is that we're all energy. So
Mm-hmm.
this is an agreement. The chair you're sitting in is an agreement. It's all an agreement of molecular structure that you have created. Okay, and so we're in agreement of this. We're in agreement of this rendezvous point. It's just an agreement, and in that, that lets you know that it's all energy. Now, physically, all of the condensation, the alchemization, and the quantum field of your physicality is less than 1% of your total being. Less than 1% of your total being. And because everybody has a cycles per second vibration, they can measure it that way. So less than 1% of your total experience is your physical being. The rest is all energetic for you. So if you can tap into the energetic of you and understand it, so that would be like how your mind thinks, how your heart feels, how your heart processes your intuitive thoughts, okay? And how
Mm,
your cerebral brain processes your logical thought, okay? And how when you put the two together, you have this beautiful balance of understanding. And it allows you to move into compassion for self and then for others because you're creating a space that's sacred to receive information and process. And so that's why when you get up and you reconnect to yourself and your awareness and you bring yourself present, you're going to be in the experience that you are intending to be in. All right. And that's why it gets easier.
yes, yes. Well, I think we covered loads of things today, right?
Well, what do you do?
I do basically what you were saying is the clearing and the smudging process. Like the other day, I was feeling a little bit tired or like energetically like drained or something as soon as I enter home. So what I did basically was just um, put some sage and like start saying that everything what you say usually about the
Like what?
spirit that
What do you say? What do you say?
everything what you say usually when you say all the
There,
spirit go to the light, go to the light, go to the light.
right?
I
That's
love
very
that.
helpful.
Yes, it is. And then I usually, what I do is basically meditate or just breathe for 5 or 6 minutes, very quick to come into my center again. And then I'm starting to journaling again. Like this is an exercise that I've been doing for a while. Then I stopped for some reason. I don't know why, but then I realized that it's really helpful when you're feeling overwhelmed or like out of your um, mind or something. So
Or you're
that's what I.
too deep, or you're too deep in ideation and possibility, and you just got to get rid of it.
Yes, that usually happens to me as well. That I'm like thinking, overthinking, and I need to like put it into the paper.
Well, you
Um,
spend a lot of time in creative energy.
Mm-hmm.
because that's like what you do. You create better lives for people through your coaching. You create better lives for people through your support system. Like there's just, you're in creation energy all the time. So you give people ideas, you pull possibility through. There's just a lot of that energy. So when you get to go ahead and center and write down about you, not others,
Mm.
right?
Yes, yes.
And then you're
That
like, oh, this is me. I remember me.
hello, me.
Yes, I love journaling.
Yes.
So I will, exactly. So I will go ahead and I have like when I print something, I'll go ahead and I'll cut the paper in half and I'll save all those half sheets for like scratch paper. It was something my dad taught me when I was young, right? And so I put it on a little clip and then I use the other side and I write down all my notes and everything. But that started to give me ease because I had so much ideation. So then I started to have like these sheets and I turned them into result orientations to where like I can mark them off now as I go and I can get rid of the papers and I can burn them because there's such a sacredness to completion, right? And so when I
Yeah.
burn them, yes. And so when I burn them, I sit and I say, can I be satisfied with this? And then I burn them and I release them. And it's like everything from there just boom, gone out of my
It
field. And I love
goes.
it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's like it washes away. It's really
Yes.
good. It's a
Yes.
nice feeling.
Right. So, in a brief way, for the strength in reverse, we should maybe be more relaxed and self observing, right? And then maybe the talk that we have in our head, we need to realize a little bit more is directed at ourselves,
Mm,
right?
mhm.
Because we may be speaking of someone else, but we don't know that internally. Like our physical field doesn't know that we're talking about somebody else because our thoughts are all out here, right? So our physical field doesn't know we're talking about somebody else. So if we're talking smack on somebody, we're going to store that trash in our body. And then it's going to pop up as limitation or resistance when we go to do something. And it's because that's our fear of change or a little bit of trauma attached to an emotion, right? That we haven't processed out yet.
Mm,
Wild. Okay, I
yes.
guess we're all good. I guess we're all good now.
Yes, exactly. But first, before we go, I would like to tell us where are you now? I want to know more about that room that you're in.
Oh, the room? Oh,
Yes,
this is
tell
okay.
us a little
So
bit more.
today, right? Okay, so this is what I decided. Thanks so much. Like my big plan is to introduce you to the space, right? Okay, so the room that we're in right now, the room that we're in, I kept hearing rune, not room. And so, like, the room that we're in right now is the healing room. And this particular healing room, we've done it all in like golden light and everything like that. And the reason is because it's a softer light. And so it has like this sort of thing
Mm,
around it, right? And then we brought a lot of Egyptian energy in here. I work with a lot of Egyptian energy, a lot of anyway, a lot. And so they're asking me just to say a lot of energy. And so that's what I'm supposed to say apparently. Anyway, so in this there's a lot of laughter around me. I know you can't hear it, but I can hear it. So whatever. So this is my day. That's usually like my day. That's how it goes. Anyway, so what we did with this particular room, this room in particular, there's like, I don't know if you could see like the vines that are there and everything, but the
yeah.
vines we painted, right? And they were supposed to be floral, but they turned out to be grapes. And so that was really good. And then it was just really beautiful, and then because grapes are about abundance and wealth and the fruit of your labors, bringing things into fruition, and it's all about receiving and allowing. Okay, abundance, prosperity, wealth. And this particular corner of the business, This is the wealth and prosperity corner. And so what we decided to do was we decided to heal our perceptions of wealth and abundance. And so in this particular room, when you come in for healing, you find that you're enough. You find that your life is good, and you find lots of different ways for yourself to move forward. And it's really nice. And we do it through several different ways. Like, gosh. So in here, we do readings. We do like one-on-one readings. We do energy work. We do the lipo laser. We do the reflexology. I do vacuum therapy in here. We just do, we do a lot of counseling. In this particular room, we also do, like where I'm sitting is one of the chairs. All right. And this is our mental health room on Sundays. So it's this like this. Let me see if I can
Move us
like
around.
this without, yeah, right. And so this is like the other chair, right? And so the other chair is right there, and then you have like your talk therapy right here. And so that's our therapist. And so when our therapist comes, they do, she's a mental health worker, and she does EMDR, talk therapy, couples, and families. And she's all listed on the website now. Everybody's services are on the website. Mostly everybody's services are on the website now. So it's really, really nice. Yes, and it does. It actually feels like that. It's a very calming, understanding room because it has to hold space for all of your bullshit.
Super clear.
Because we're going to unpack that stuff. So this is like the shadow room. So it's a really good room. Because people come to us for beauty treatments. Okay. And the beauty treatments, by the way, this year is all about focusing on beauty, the beauty of you, the beauty of your situation. If you could use beauty in some of your descriptions, like, oh, look at the beauty of this situation. Oh, look how beautiful that turned out. Oh, can you see the beauty in that? Oh my gosh. Then you're looking with a different mind's eye at things. But this year is about that as well. I was saving that a little bit, but we'll get into that later in the year. And right now, everybody who didn't come into awareness in January is coming into awareness now. And then there'll be another big wave around, I want to say September, October. And then it's just, and people who are now are being like, this is so hard. But everybody who did it in January is saying, no, it's not so bad. Here, let me help you. And so we're starting to be in reciprocation and helping one another, but it's really good. And in this particular room, that's what we heal. We heal the ability to help others, to reach out, to understand that there's more than enough, that just because you asked for something, it doesn't mean you can't have it. It means that you have a story about not receiving it. Okay, Francesca? That's your reading. You have a story about not receiving it. And that's it. So change your story. Change your story. Change your story. What would be a better story? What would feel better to you? Right? So you ask yourself those questions, and that's how you chop wood, carry water. We love you guys.
We love you. See you soon. Bye.